Next week, CW offer a
that national culture is black or is white or is colored or is Asian. We are building it together.
David was a very young, courageous man. He died from AIDS.
Artillery and mortar attacks have broken the silence of a relatively quiet week in Croatia.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please join us for details after this break.
We need trees, everyone, you and me, the birds and the bees. So let's plant the trees today and tomorrow on National Tree Day. Trees are life for all of us, so let's plant trees. Trees are life for all of us, so let's plant trees.
Plant a tree on National Tree Day. Remember, trees are life.
Forestry Commission, looking beyond the trees.
Next week is the tree planting week. In Harare today, the president planted a tree after addressing the Portuguese community, where he called on the diverse cultures of Zimbabwe to work there.
President Mugabe was speaking at the Portuguese Association in Harare today, where members of that community gathered for a fundraising luncheon for the President's Fund for Charity.
From the Portuguese, I'd like to present you a check in the amount of $150,000.
Something like an educational aid to further the cause of education at the woodland.
The Pro-Neutral 20-mile road race has been held in Harare.
The Pro-Neutral 20-miler was held this morning, starting from the Enterprise Country Club. The 20th running of this road race had approximately 600 with 5 foreign entries from Zambia, Malawi, Botswana, Lesotho, and Swaziland. The weather was just perfect for this international event, which had several categories, which included veterans, seniors, juniors, masters, and wheelchairs. Tendai Chimsasa, who had been tipped to win this road race, could not make it, as we were informed that he had left the country for France. The winner was Paul Mokale of Lesotho, who received 2 trophies and a check worth $1,000. Second was Nicholas Nyai, and third was Winston Muzuni. Julia Sakala was the first lady to cross the finish line, and in the wheelchair category, Rob Wickham came first. From the finish line at the Harare Sports Club, this is Wilberforce Chaza.
And now to News Bulletin. Here once again are the main points. President Robert Mugabe has called on the various cultural groups of Zimbabwe to work together to achieve common goals attaining their individual cultures. The world marked its 4th AIDS Day, which is today, by trying to focus the minds of millions of people across the world on the threat posed by the killer disease. Harare Town Clerk, Comrade Edward Kanengoni, has assured residents of Chitungwiza and Norton that the water situation will be back to normal either today or tomorrow. And that brings us to the end of today's news bulletin. So from all of us here, from Joseph and me, and all those in the news team, good night.
This evening's weather report is brought to you by the Met Department in association with Tinto Industries, a division of the Rio Tinto Zimbabwe.
Water. Wherever you need water and there isn't any, Tinto Irrigation will get it there. Tinto Irrigation not only manufacture equipment, we design and commission irrigation systems. But there are other fields in which we operate: mining, industry, and construction. From pipes, connectors and pumps, to gate valves, foot valves, and sprinklers. You can rely on Tinto Irrigation to deliver the goods. Tinto Irrigation, giving a new element to water development.
Good evening. The dry spell still continues over the whole country, as we would normally expect at this time of the year. And we'll be in the same situation with the neighboring countries, except Zambia, especially the eastern part, which is being affected by the intertropical convergence zone. Meanwhile, the upper high, which is causing the dry conditions over the country, is showing signs of weakening, as suggested in part by the formation of a cloud band over the west of the subcontinent. If this trend continues expected, the ITCZ should also move southwards to affect the country, but not now. The surface airflow today was easterly, being moist over the southeastern parts, where some briefly cloud conditions were experienced in the early morning. Tomorrow, pressure should be falling over the southeast coast. This should cause the winds over the country to become northeasterly and much drier. And for the detailed wind map, all areas should have a generally northeasterly direction, although in some localities it might be light and variable. And for the detailed forecast, we are expecting all parts of the country to be sunny throughout the day, with some partly cloud conditions over the hound. City center temperatures should start off mild in the morning, becoming rather hot in the afternoon, and Blawa is expected to record the highest maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. The same sort of temperature pattern is expected for holiday resorts, except Nyanka, which should have a maximum temperature of only 24 degrees Celsius. The rest should have above 30. And fire danger rating should be high in the Eastern Highlands North and extreme for Eastern Highlands South, Harare, Bulawayo, and Gweru. In the outlook period, we are not seeing much change, so generally sunny weather should be expected in all areas. That's all in tonight's weather report and forecast. Have a good night.
This evening's Met Department weather report was brought to you by Tinto Industries, a division of the Rio Tinto Zimbabwe Group.
Community effort will stop the spread of HIV. National AIDS Council, War Against AIDS.
When you reach for the sensation of the perfect meal, you are reaching for polenta.
The refined polenta is the perfect meal.
We at Natbrew are known for our fine beers. But we're not here just for the beer. We give financial assistance to sport, higher education, and community welfare. Because it's our policy not only to provide a better beer for our community, but also a better community for our beer. So whenever you raise your glass, remember, the cheer goes on the beer.
We're the cream of the crop.
For all your pharmaceutical requirements, imported perfumes for ladies and gents. At Regal Pharmacy in Baker Avenue, they specialize in ear piercing. You can find them in Harare and Chitungwiza.
So reach for the top.
On the 2nd of December 1991, a brand new winner enters the limelight. Topic's new flagship store opens its doors on the corner of Robson Manyika Avenue and Angwa Street, bringing quality clothes for the whole family. So come along and don't miss out.
Where you're more than clothes, you got personality.
Next week, CW offer a 20% discount on all men's shoes.
We need trees, everyone, you and me, the birds and the bees. So let's plant the trees today and tomorrow on National Tree. Trees are life for all of us, so let's plant trees. Trees are life for all of us, so let's plant trees.
Plant a tree on National Tree Day. Remember, trees are life.
Forestry Commission, looking beyond the trees.
There is over $40,000 worth of prizes to be won in the Nespray Celebrate Christmas competition. You could win a fridge, silver tea set, or many other fantastic prizes. Cut out the front of the new Nespray box, answer 2 simple questions on the card, write your name and address.
Nespray is the #1 milk for growing up fruit. You got to